This is the Frigidaire Professional FPRU19F8WF, the 33-inch refrigerator column, and let me tell you, this thing is a real presence in any kitchen. Just looking at it, you notice that strong, squared shape and a big, almost industrial set of handles. The stainless steel finish is super clean, and it doesn't pick up fingerprints easily, which is a relief because I have kids and messy hands are a daily situation. From my experience, having a full-size, professional-looking fridge like this truly makes you rethink how you organize everything, especially if your kitchen's been running a little tight on space like mine used to. When I first got it, honestly, I was a little intimidated by its sheer size. At over 71 inches tall and with a nice wide door, it kind of dwarfs regular cabinets, but it feels solid and instantly gives my kitchen a big boost in style. The finish is what Frigidaire calls smudge-proof stainless steel, which is more than just a fancy name. I run my hands along it and don't see immediate marks. That's such a practical touch that I didn't realize would matter to me until I stopped wiping it every other hour. Now about how it actually works, let me get right to the basics. The layout inside is simple but smart. You've got a ton of usable space, almost 19 cubic feet in the refrigerator alone. The biggest thing I noticed is how flexible the shelves are. You can slide most of them out or change their position to fit whatever you're buying that week. For bigger items like cakes or a full tray of meal-prepped food, I've never felt boxed in. The drawers near the bottom are crispers, which means they're great for keeping fresh veggies and salad greens lively all week. There's also an auto humidity function, so if you're not someone who's super into the details of fridge tech, what that does is adjust the moisture in the drawer, which keeps stuff fresher without you needing to do anything extra. One of the details I really like is the interior lighting. LED lights wrap around the sides, so I can actually see what's at the back. No more mystery jars getting shoved into a dark corner and forgotten for months. The included trim kit fits right up to my cabinet edges too, so you don't get those awkward gaps that make everything look unfinished. The overall vibe is definitely pro kitchen, but it doesn't make my regular home kitchen feel out of place. Instead, it sort of elevates the space. A day-to-day highlight is the water dispenser. Unlike those little external water taps that barely fit a cup, this one is built inside the fridge. It's super handy when I want to fill up big water bottles or pitchers. My huge jug for the gym fits without getting tilted awkwardly or splashing everywhere. The water flow is strong and quick, so you're not waiting ages just to fill a bottle. I wasn't expecting to care about a feature like that until I actually started using it every day. The doors are big and sturdy, and another thing worth mentioning is the storage in the doors themselves. Each shelf is deeper than it looks. I can get 3 or 4 gallon-sized milk jugs just on one of those door shelves, and there's still room for things like juice or cold brew. A lot of fridges claim big space, but what you end up with is all these weird, shallow bins that don't really work for real groceries. This one feels more practical for a regular family haul. In my opinion, a counter-depth fridge like this, which basically means it sits nearly flush with my cabinetry, gives my kitchen a custom built-in look. However, it also means you don't get as much interior depth as some standard fridges. When I first shopped around, I was worried that might be a problem. In practice, it hasn't been a big deal. But if you're someone who grows cucumbers for the neighborhood or shops in bulk every single week, you may notice the difference compared with huge, regular depth fridges. Still, with the adjustable shelves and smart use of space, it's way better organized than I expected. One thing to watch out for, from my experience, the lower shelves keep food super crisp and cold. If you leave things like cheese or leafy greens on the top shelves or in the door bins for too long, they might not stay quite as chilly as you expect. It's not a massive issue, but something to keep an eye on with really delicate stuff. That said, the overall temperature control is dead on for regular items like milk, eggs, leftovers, and produce. Setup wasn't complicated, though this is a heavy, tall fridge, so definitely plan to have help on hand if you're swapping out your old unit. Installing the trim kit to hide the seams and give it that built-in finish was pretty straightforward. In my kitchen, it was basically plug in, align, and done. Noise was a concern for me because our kitchen is right next to our living room. I'm happy to report the FPRU19F8WF is really quiet. I barely notice it running. Sometimes I actually check the fridge just to make sure it's on because it's that unobtrusive. And the fact that it's Energy Star certified also makes me feel good about not running up the energy bill. My usage hasn't noticeably affected the bill, but obviously, your mileage may vary there. For anyone who likes things super tidy, the finish is a lifesaver. I don't find myself cleaning it constantly, like my older fridge, which always seemed to look smudgy and tired, no matter how much I scrubbed it. Those bulky handles feel sturdy and easy to grip, even with full hands, or if I've just finished food prep. If you meal prep or entertain, honestly, even if you just have a busy household with kids constantly digging for snacks, the layout makes it easy. I keep quick grab stuff right at the front, taller bottles upright, and still have space for strange-shaped leftovers. Containers no other fridge would accommodate. And the humidity control for the crisper drawers keeps things like lettuce and fruit from wilting or going bad as fast, saving a few bucks and annoying trips to the store. In conclusion, I'd recommend this refrigerator for anyone who wants their kitchen to look pro, but still wants things to feel accessible for everyday living. The construction is solid, it operates super quietly, it's got style, and the shelves are flexible enough to fit real life, not just picture-perfect groceries. It might be a little overkill if you're living solo, but for families or anyone cooking and storing a lot, I can vouch for the capacity and convenience. Sure, I'd love a bit more top-shelf cooling and maybe a touch more depth, but overall the positives make this a fridge I'm glad I chose. If you're thinking about a new refrigerator and want to see how things work in a normal house, I hope this quick review helps you get a feel for what it's really like to use the Frigidaire Professional FPRU19 FWF every day. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you find these reviews useful, and please leave a comment with your questions or your own fridge stories below. Thank you for watching.